Hey guys, True Grit Scott, Bulletproof Saws and BLUESAWS.com. I wanted to make a quick video. Step back. Hope everybody's doing all right. Anyhow, quick video. I have seals on my mind the last few days. One of the good friends to the channel, Wayne, was mentioning that he's had some repeated problems with the Farmer Tech brownish red seals. I'm surprised because I haven't been getting a ton of feedback like that, and we've gone through this before where I had a problem 3-4 years ago with the Farmer Tech seals not holding up to the chemical resistance wasn't quite right. So since then, they've changed it, and I haven't had a problem with it. But what was interesting, I just got a couple shipments in this week, and one of them I had seen. They're advertising seals, and they're saying they're Viton rubber, which is a high quality rubber. So the seals came in, and they're labeled as fluoro rubber seals, and I'll pop them out of the pack here. This is just some 372 seals, and they look real nice. I have to find an older Farmer Tech. Actually, I think I see one right over there. No, that ain't a seal. That's something else. I thought I saw one on the ground, guys. When I pop them out of saws, they go flying sometimes, and sometimes I can find one still on the floor. Anyhow, they look really nice, actually. They're labeled. You can read the labeling on them, but I don't know if they're any different than the other reddish brown seals. So we also, we've always carried the highway seals. And, in the singles, we get bulk packs of 100 where they're not individually bagged. And then we get them sometimes, even in the bulk orders, they individually bag them. And I think they send us what they have, 100 seals one way or the other. Maybe I should ask them if I could get them all individually bagged, because it's kind of nice. Takes up a lot more room, though, believe it or not. But we always had the highway gasket sets, which are great. But Farmer Tech came out with gasket sets also. What was interesting is that the gasket sets are a little bit different. The highway gasket set comes with the foil. I wind up using heat tape an awful lot instead of the pre-cut foil. But whatever you do for that, the Farmer Tech sets don't. But what was interesting is this Farmer Tech set, and I'm not saying they all do this or they'll continue to do this. This is a 44 gasket set, has highway seals in it. So I don't know if they ran out of their own seals or if they're in a transition of going from the regular rubber to the Viton fluoro rubber. Don't know, don't have an answer. It'll be a while before we figure it out. I just figured I'd give you guys like an update on some goofy little thing because I've been thinking about seals a lot. But those are highway seals in there. And I can compare them dead nuts for highway seals. Maybe they're not, but they are. And what I'll tell you is, I've seen Farmer Tech do that before. I think it was the 288 Oilers. They were not great originally from Farmer Tech. And then there was the one with the sunshine on it. And Farmer Tech started shipping us those. Those were Taiwan-made Oilers. And they came from Highway. And there's another manufacturer behind that, but that's a whole another story we could talk about another time. But the last batch of 288 Oilers I got aren't the same as the original. Not great, not good Farmer Tech Oilers. They're not the Highway Sunshine Oilers. They're a new variant. So, and I don't have feedback on those yet. I just don't know. But it's kind of interesting that I do see Farmer Tech shipping highway stuff occasionally. I see Farmer Tech actually upgrading a lot of different little things here and there. And they've been doing it, but I'm noticing more and more little things. And it scares me to say that because I've also seen them, do goofy things like the 460s that they went to that Anaconda carb. That's absolutely garbage when they had a wonderful carb in the HLIC one. So anyhow, guys, I was just talking about seals. The Farmer Tech kits are nice. They're a little cheaper than the highway kits. I'm not going to promise you're going to get highway seals depending on the kit you order, but I did notice that even this, what is this one? $395 kit has to me what looks like the newer, darker brown, red, whatever you want to call that, what I think are also the Viton Fluoro seals. So I'm not sure, but I hadn't been having a major problem with the Farmer Tech seals. But when I get one of the good friends of the channel who's, he doesn't do 100 saws, but he had a bunch of them fail on him. I think he said 7 out of 7 failed on him within a year. Don't know. I wish I could get more feedback, because one person's isolated feedback maybe has funny fuel in his area, maybe it could be 1,000 things, and I can't pretend to guess. All I could do is say, hey, I'm getting feedback, and it takes a while sometimes to put it together, and you want to hear it from multiple guys that you trust, not just, there's some random guys spouting a bunch of stuff that they read somewhere and they think is right, and a lot of times that information's 5-6 years out of date. That's not what this fellow's doing. But you have to be real careful where you get your information from, because I see a lot of stuff out there, and I shake my head, especially in the Farmer Tech groups. It's just, it's questionable. I don't know how else to say it. Anyhow, I'm going to finish sharpening this chain. I had a file. That ain't it. Yeah, there's a file. I'm going to sharpen this chain, run this saw for a little while. I'm going to run it today, run it tomorrow. That's my clutch cover on it. That's why it looks the way it does, because if I get mine dirty, it's one less thing for me to clean before I ship out a saw. I think that's it for today. Just wanted to talk about seals. And, here's another tip I'll give you. I don't pooch seals putting them in very often anymore, and I'm sure I just jinxed myself. But when you order seals, do yourself a favor. Order 2 sets, maybe 3 sets, just in case. Because I've had some days where, I don't know, maybe I'm jittery or my hands aren't working right, where, you pooch one seal, rip it back out, you pooch another one, and you're like, oh boy, I hope I have another set of seals. So I'll tell you what, for the couple bucks, especially the individual seals are pretty darn cheap. Order yourselves extras, and not so much, depending on the saw you're doing, some are worse than others, but on the PTO side, because a lot of times you'll have a step on the crank, which is easy to invert that little, spring in there. So if I don't see it happen on a flywheel side as much, because they're usually tapered real nice. But on the PTO side, I see it more often, where if you're going to mess one up, although a lot of the flywheel seals are real small, it just depends on the saw you're doing. And maybe you've never pooched a seal, and maybe you're just better coordinated than I am putting them in. But it's always nice to have a couple extra sets of seals. Anyhow, guys, that was my quick video talking about seals. Not that interesting. True Grit Scott, Bulletproof Saws, and BLUESAWS.com. Thanks for watching, and stay safe.